In Long Beach, it all comes down to what you look like. It's all about color. We kill each other over race, pride, and respect. We fight for our America.
My name is Erin Gruwell.
Listen to me, all of you.
I have a dream.
The Freedom Riders takes place in Long Beach, California, where teacher Erin Gruwell was offered a job as an English teacher at Woodrow Wilson High School. This school is known for implementing a voluntary integration program that is not well supported by the board members and the teachers. Each student in this program has their own struggles that prevent them from focusing on getting an education, but Gruwell never gave up on teaching her students regarding the circumstances. Everyone should see this movie because it is based off of real events and real people. It shows struggles of racism, prejudice, and stereotypes that are in the world today. The Freedom Riders is a relatable story and gives hope to those who go through some of the same struggles as these students. The movie is emotional and inspirational and teaches several important lessons about life. The Freedom Riders teaches individuals not to judge a book by its cover. It teaches the importance of empathy and the ability to see the world from another individual's perspective. This story shows that people have more in common with others than they may realize. Another important life lesson portrayed in this story is that everyone needs a good role model to look up to for encouragement. And the most important lesson taught in this movie is that every person has a chance to make better for themselves and they don't have to succumb to stereotypes. Erin Gruwell is a brand new teacher who is thrown into teaching a group of undereducated students who are reluctant to learn. She was told by board members that she needed to change her lesson plans because the students would not be able to comprehend the literature. However, this did not persuade Gruwell to lower her expectations of her students. She tried to find ways to prove to the board members that her students were not stupid. She tried getting to know each of her students individually in order to revise her lessons to be more relevant and relatable to their lives. Because the school did not provide her any resources for her students, Gruwell picked up part-time jobs to be able to buy books for her students with her own money. She spent so much of her time working and providing for her students that it affected her relationship with part of her family, but that was something she was willing to do for her students. In the movie, the school is divided into cliques that are based on race. Each group of students protect their territory by saying derogatory statements to members of other races. There are times that they do not only use words, they will even use violence and guns to protect their own. This is a scene in The Freedom Riders where Ava is on her way home from school and crosses into another race's territory. The members in this group are about to jump Ava solely for the fact that she is Latina. This scene in the movie really portrays the extent of racism at their school and in the town. This scene started out with a picture of an African American student who is in the class, being passed around and laughed at by all of the other students. The picture exaggerates the characteristic of the student having big lips. Ms. Gruwell caught the students passing around the picture and could see how embarrassed the student felt. She mentioned that pictures like that are something that can be related to how something like the Holocaust would start. Instead of making fun of African Americans with big lips, they made fun of Jews with big noses. The only student in the class who was familiar with the Holocaust was the one Caucasian student in the class. After explanation of the Holocaust, the students started to realize what kind of an impact that their racism has on other individuals.
All of you.
Stand on the line if you've lost a friend to gang violence. Stay on the line if you've lost more than one friend.
3, 4 or more.
This scene starts by Ms. Gruwell asking the students questions about their music preferences and what they like to do in their spare time, and the questions get progressively more personal. This is the part of the movie that portrays the theme not to judge a book by its cover. The students began to notice that they have a lot more in common with their classmates than they realized, and they aren't so different after all. Ms. Gruwell bought each student a notebook and asked each of them to write about whatever they want every single day. She would lock the journals in the cabinet and would not open them unless they gave her permission. The students used the journal to write about anything in their life that caused pain, happiness, or sadness. This allowed the students to get their feelings onto paper and confide in someone to understand their stories. Having these diaries helped build a relationship of trust between Miss Gruelle and her students. The students looked to Miss Gruelle for comfort and advice as a mother would give to them. At the end of the students' senior year, Miss Gruelle told each of the students to choose one diary entry to share in a published book. This allowed other people with the same problems to have something to help them through their similar issues. In the end, the students still had problems with racism outside of the classroom, but all of these students grew to become a family. Most of these students are the first in their families to graduate, and it truly shows how everyone has a chance to make themselves better despite all of the obstacles in life. Everyone should see The Freedom Writers because it gives students a sense of hope. The movie is inspirational and teaches several lessons about racism, education, and life in general.